Thousands are under evacuation orders in mid-Michigan Wednesday morning, a day after 2 dams failed following heavy rain across the state. A little boy that is standing in the dirt. This photo shows a view of a dam on Wixom Lake in Edenville, Mich., Tuesday, May 19, 2020. People living along 2 mid-Michigan lakes and parts of a river have been evacuated following several days of heavy rain that produced flooding and put pressure on dams in the area. Kaytie Boomer, The Bay City Times via AP. Copyright Kaytie Boomer, The Bay City Times, AP. This photo shows a view of a dam on Wixom Lake in Edenville, Mich., Tuesday, May 19, 2020. People living along 2 mid-Michigan lakes and parts of a river have been evacuated following several days of heavy rain that produced flooding and put pressure on dams in the area. Kaytie Boomer, The Bay City Times via AP. Michigan Gov. Gretchen Whitmer declared a state of emergency Tuesday night for Midland County after both the Edenville and Sanford dams breached and urged immediate evacuations. "If you have a family member or loved one who lives in another part of the state, go there now," she said. "If you don't, go to one of the shelters that have opened across the county. Residents should seek higher ground as far east and west of the Tittabawassee River as possible," according to the City of Midland's website. In the next 12 to 15 hours, downtown Midland could be under approximately 9 feet of water, Whitmer said Tuesday night in a news conference. "We are anticipating an historic high water level." The flooding comes amid the coronavirus pandemic, forcing officials to juggle 2 public safety crises at once. Shelters have been established, and flood evacuees are being screened for the illness. Any emergency order issued in response to the coronavirus crisis is suspended if it impedes emergency response efforts, the governor's declaration said. The National Weather Service in Detroit said a flash flood emergency continues in Midland County through 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time Wednesday. The Tittabawassee River set a record Wednesday morning, surging at Midland past the old mark of 33.89 feet, set in September 1986. The river still was rising, and is forecast to crest there around 38 feet by around 8 p.m. Eastern Time before slowly receding. 10,000 people evacuating amid pandemic. About 3,500 homes and 10,000 people have so far been affected by the evacuation notices, Mark Bone, chairman of the Midland County Board of Commissioners, said he believes. "No deaths or injuries have been reported," he said. "Teams are trying to screen people arriving at the shelters," Bone said, "and emergency personnel have plenty of personal protective equipment and are wearing masks." A man that is standing in the water, Mark Musselman, brings a chair to the front of his house on Tuesday in Edenville, Michigan. Copyright Kaytie Kildee, Midland Daily News via AP. Mark Musselman brings a chair to the front of his house on Tuesday in Edenville, Michigan. "Masks are available for everyone going into the shelters," he said. "To go through this in the midst of a global pandemic is almost unthinkable. But we are here, and to the best of our ability we are going to navigate this together," Whitmer said. "Please, to the best of your ability, continue to wear a face covering when you go to a shelter or go stay with a friend or relative," Whitmer said. The Michigan Army National Guard is on site, with 100 soldiers doing inspections around the area, Whitmer said. Mid-Michigan Medical Center in Midland said it was not evacuating. "We have been working alongside local agencies, watching closely the rapid changes that have been occurring due to the flooding," said Greg Rogers, the president, in a news release. "We have transferred a few patients that were identified by their physician. We have no current plans to evacuate." The hospital said it has made improvements to protect the hospital since the flood of 1986, which include a FEMA-approved flood wall located on medical center property and generators built above the flood plain. It was the second time in 24 hours that residents were told to evacuate because of rising waters. They have been advised to wear a face covering and observe social distancing while evacuating to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The Michigan National Guard has been assisting in the response, the governor said. The evacuation orders included parts of Midland, Edenville and Sanford. The National Weather Service (NWS) said this was an extremely dangerous and life-threatening situation, with the Tittabawassee River expected to crest at a record of 38 feet by Wednesday morning local time. In a statement, Dow said it had activated its flood preparedness plan, which includes the safe shutdown of operating units. Only essential staff needed to monitor the situation and manage any issues remained on site, which sits on Midland's riverbank, the company added. Built in 1924, the Edenville Dam was rated in unsatisfactory condition by the state in 2018, while the Sanford Dam, which was built in 1925, was given a fair condition rating, the Associated Press news agency reports. It said both dams were in the process of being sold. President Donald Trump is expected to visit Michigan on Thursday, to tour a Ford plant that is manufacturing ventilators to help in the response to the coronavirus. Ms. Whitmer, who has not been invited to attend the event, has criticized the Trump administration's handling of the crisis. The visit is, technically, a violation of the restrictions imposed by the governor to curb the spread of the virus in Michigan, which has been hit hard with more than 50,000 confirmed cases and 5,000 deaths. But a spokesman said she would not try to block the visit. The Democratic governor is seen as a possible running mate for former Vice President Joe Biden, the party's presumptive nominee to run against President Trump in November.